over the years, I've guided hundreds of people through their Akashic Records journeys. One of the most common questions I hear is this: how do you know when something comes from a past life and when it's just part of your present life? It's such an important question because there's a big misconception in the spiritual world that the Akashic Records are only for the big cosmic stuff. Past lives, karma, or epic revelations about your soul purpose. And while these things can absolutely show up in a reading, that's not the only reason to enter the Akashic Records. Hi, I'm Karen Wyatt, the Records Keeper. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner and teacher, and I help people have soul conversations through the Akashic Records to get to the root of their why. So my truth? The records are sacred, yes, but they're also incredibly practical. They're soulful and down to earth. You can open your records and ask about why you're dreading a conversation with your daughter, while you feel stuck in your kitchen every morning, whether your work still aligns with you and who you're becoming, or why that pattern with your mother keeps circling back, no matter how much inner work you've already done. And often the answers that come through aren't grand or mystical, they're gentle, clear truths about what's happening right now. Sometimes the soul says, this isn't from another lifetime. This is from this one. And it's asking for compassion, not correction. When I'm in the Akashic Records with someone, I never assume it's a past life issue just because something feels painful or confusing. We always begin with the present moment. I'll ask, is this pattern connected to how you were raised? Is this tied to your nervous system, your ADHD, your hormones, your season in life? Are you burnt out? Or have you simply outgrown a version of yourself that used to fit? The records help us untangle these threads with honesty and tenderness. And if the energy feels layered, if there's an emotion that doesn't quite fit the moment, or it keeps showing up in many areas of life, then we'll explore deeper. And yes, sometimes we find a past life thread. Sometimes it's an ancestral echo. Sometimes it's an old soul promise that hasn't yet dissolved. And here's the key. We don't use past lives to escape the present. Healing doesn't happen by running away from now. It happens when you finally understand your current life through your soul's eyes. I'll never forget one of my clients. She came in hoping to discover her life's purpose. She was expecting something big, like a past life revelation or a calling that would change everything. But when we opened up her Akashic Records, what came through was much simpler and so much more profound for her. The records showed that the emotional thread that ran through her relationship with her mother and how her mother's own pain had shaped the way she parented. And when she saw that truth, it really took her aback. Not because she'd uncovered something grand or mystical, but because she could finally look at that painful relationship with love. And that's what the Akashic Records do. They illuminate love, even in the hardest places. And that's holy too. Yes, past life insight might be beautiful when it's relevant. And true confession time, I think it's fun. I love seeing past lives. It can explain certain emotional triggers, recurring fears, and soul-level attractions. But not everything needs to be ancient or cosmic to be meaningful. Sometimes the most powerful healing happens when you sit simply in your records and ask, why am I so tired all of the time? What's this version of me trying to tell me? And the answer might not be because of some wound you received in 14th century France. It might just be because you're carrying too much for too long, and it's time to come home to yourself. And when you receive that message, that's not a small thing. That's grace. So if you ever feel called to explore the Akashic Records, remember, they're not just a library of your past. They are a mirror of your present. and they reveal not only who you've been, but who you are becoming. I'm Karen Wyatt, the Records Keeper. Thank you for being here and listening with your heart, and for walking your soul's path with curiosity and courage. If this message resonated, I'd love for you to subscribe and join me in the Record Keepers Circle, my online sanctuary where we explore the Akashic Records together in a grounded, soulful way. Until next time, remember, your soul always knows the way home. See you in the next video.